Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Beat the Experts, brought to you by Falcone Moon Ford. I'm Andrew Chiappazzi. Mike Byers is off this week. We have a bunch of interesting section matchups to get to, so let's get right to the games. The big one this week is Tuesday night in Leetsdale when Quaker Valley hosts Newcastle, a huge Section 2 4A game, and that one you might remember from 3 games between these two teams last year. They were all thrillers. Newcastle won 54-53 last December. Quaker Valley turned the tables on the Road Hurricane later on in the year and won 60-54. And then, of course, they met in the WPIAL Class 4A championship game, which Newcastle won 73-58 to get the last laugh. This year should be very interesting because these are two of the top teams in Class 4A and might be in the championship game again this year. Newcastle has senior guard Marcus Hooker, who's going to Ohio State for football, and Quaker Valley, of course, has Drexel recruit Colt Train Washington. Plus, they have Ricky Gus, who should be back after getting a little bit of action this past Friday night after a long football season. And keep an eye on junior Ryan Stowers, who's averaging about 21 or so points per game after not playing much last year. So Tuesday night should be a very good one in Leetsdale. Speaking of good section matchups, we have a great one on the girls' side tonight, Monday night. 4-0 Central Valley hosts Beaver. Beaver is 3-1 so far, and the Warriors, of course, were very young last year. Central Valley, under Chris Raso, got back into the playoffs, and now they're looking to make it a little bit further. They have higher expectations. Junior guard Kaylin Underwood and sophomore Christian Fry have been excellent so far, as expected. They're the ones that will carry the load for Central Valley, but they've had some help as their roles continue to grow. Junior Harley Johns, sophomore Allison Kirby, and sophomore Hannah Engelman have all been very strong early for Central Valley. They'll need to be strong against Beaver because the Bobcats, of course, have 4 starters back in the starting lineup, including senior guard Bella Posset. The star is one of the early leaders in the WPIAL scoring list, averaging about 25 points per game. And Posset is joined by 2 other seniors in double digits right now. Sydney Barney's at about 12 points per game, and Paige Zigas is at about 11 points per game. So this should be a very fun one on Monday night between Beaver and Central Valley, and with how tight that section is going to be all season long, you know, an early win could be the difference between a good playoff spot and a not so good playoff spot when the postseason rolls around. Finally, an intriguing game on Thursday night between 2 boys teams. Yes, a boys game, a section game on Thursday night, not Friday night. Aliquippa hosts Riverside on Thursday. The Quips start the week undefeated under second-year coach Dwight Hines. They'll play Farrell on Tuesday before hosting the Panthers on Thursday. And last year, the Quips and Riverside played 2 very close games. Aliquippa won at Riverside 49-46 in the first matchup, but Riverside won 61-59 at Aliquippa later in the year. Both teams made the playoffs. Both teams have been excellent early on. MJ Devonshire and Will Gibson have been great for Aliquippa. Ty Thelman has been excellent for Riverside and has been their leading scorer early on. So a little bit of a different take on a section game on Thursday night, but Riverside, which is 3-1, facing undefeated Aliquippa, at least to start the week, should be a lot of fun on Thursday night at Aliquippa. That does it for this week's episode of Beat the Experts. You can keep track of all of these games on timesonline.com. I'm Andrew Chiappazzi. We'll see you soon.